aboard and welcome to our podcast, GoddeSShips. For those of you who are returning, thank you for your continued support. Welcome back. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome. I guess I'll be the only one doing shirt cam tonight because, as you all can see, my goddess is driving safely in her vehicle to record, but I'm just here for the comments. It's my shirt tonight. I am Keely, the Soul Snatching Goddess.
And I am Melinda, the F.A.C.K.Goddess.
Hello, I'm FloydGod. Oh.
Was I supposed to say more?
Go, do your part, girl.
We want you to like, share, and subscribe, and bang on the notification button so that you'll be one of the first to be notified when we have new episodes.
I'm FloydGod. How y'all doing? Hello, world.
Hello, world. All right, and tonight's episode is Mono or Poly. What are we? So I don't know if y'all have been seeing a lot more people are being open to and being into polyamorous relationships. I know I've seen it more. I don't know about y'all. Have y'all?
Yes, it's coming up a lot.
A whole lot. So we're going to do some definitions. Polygamy is the practice or state of being married to one person at a time, or the practice or state of having a sexual relationship with only one partner. And in zoology, it's the habit of having only one mate at a time. And polygamy is the practice or custom of having more than one wife or husband at the same time. And in zoology, a pattern of mating in which an animal has more than one mate. So when a man is married to more than one wife at a time, sociologists call that polygyny. And when a woman is married to more than one husband at a time, it's called polyandry. So let's get into it. So I researched a little bit because, like I've already said in previous episodes, I don't share dick. So that poly thing is not my thing, but some people like it. So I looked up some pros and some cons, and we'll kind of go through those and y'all give y'all opinions. So we're going to start with monogamy. So emotional security is one of the pros that it lists in monogamy. It says it's believed to ensure trust and security if the relationship is healthy, mature, and compatible, which might not always be the case in a polygamous relationship. So do y'all think a monogamous relationship boosts emotional security? You said no. Why not?
Ladies first.
Oh my God.
Okay, you said that monogamy does what? Boast?
It boosts emotional security.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's a lot of mischief, or however you want to pronounce it, going on right now. So even if you're in a monogamous relationship, you can think you have emotional security until you get emotionally charged by finding out the relationship has gone awry.
Well, I mean, so
if both people are truly committed to one another, and there is nobody stepping out, there is no infidelity, there is no lying, if it's a great relationship like that, then absolutely it can yield emotional security.
I completely agree. It has to be where you both are in it, without outside stuff going on. Floyd?
I just think no matter what type of relationship you're in, whether it's monogamous or polyamorous, if both of you all have made created boundaries and set a set of rules and guidelines that y'all gonna follow, then there can be emotional stability, whether it's monogamous or polygamous. Because if you're in a polygamous relationship, for example, if you're a woman and you got two men, or you're a man and you got two women and everybody know about each other, if y'all just dealing with each other and that's y'all relationship, then there can be emotional stability. I think this where we live at this whole westernized civilization or whatever is what has us thinking, oh well, you can't have this if you're not monogamous, then there can't be this, there's all these negatives. No, you create the relationship that you want. It's your choice to be monogamous or your choice to be polygamous. If you choose to be either one and both of y'all on the same page and y'all create boundaries and rules, then there can be emotional stability regardless what type of situation you're in.
Correct. So all of this is from my research that I looked up because, like I said, I wanted to be completely on board for both sides because I told y'all I should be. Anyway, financial support is another pro that it lists. It says a monogamous relationship assists you to meet your financial goals faster and gain a judgment of security with debt, medical bills, and other charges that would be difficult to overcome if you were living or working alone or paying the financial needs of multiple partners.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that.
I'm just telling you what it says.
I know, but I don't think that has anything to do with whether you're monogamous or you're polyamorous.
It just says it's a pro to be in it.
Right, but that just is based on the individual or individuals. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because some people can't afford to have more than one woman and they don't hurt their pockets or nothing.
Right.
I think that I know a few people who in polygamous or polyamorous, whatever you call it, relationships, they got more than one person. Mm-hmm. And I'm still learning about this because I don't know much about it. So people, friends might tell me. But some people do it. They call it nation building.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So if a guy has 3 wives or 2 wives or whatever, or a woman has 2 husbands, whatever. If all of y'all are bringing income to the same unit,
it builds it quicker.
Again, it doesn't matter. It's all about how you handle your business, what rules you set, what boundaries you set, what financial rules you set, what type of budget you create.
Yeah.
I think again, the research that you got, and this is just my opinion.
It's old. It's based on old stuff, but this is what's out there. But
right, it's a Western view. Right, the world is changing, and that's a Westernized view, Eurocentric view, as a matter of fact. So
which brings to the next pro. It says culturally approved.
If you're dealing with your own.
Various cultures and beliefs promote and support monogamy. And for those whose core beliefs include social acceptance and approval, they would feel more inclined to choose monogamy.
Conditioning.
I'm just saying, that's what it says.
That's just part of the conditioning of what we, how we was raised. We all been raised to just marry one person or be with one person. And now this generation or whatever has happened in the past. Well, it's always been out there because I know a dude who got 2 women. They've been together probably 30-some years. He way older than me. And they ain't had no problem. So,
it's all in how you establish it. I get it. But for me, I know in my relationship world, I ain't high maintenance on the nails and the eyelashes and certain hairstyles and all that. I'm not going to pay that exorbitant amount, but I'm high maintenance in what I require from who I'm with. And so I can't be the person to share with another person because I feel like it's taken from me. And all attention must be on me, which is why even in my threesomes that I did during the past, it was me and two men, because the attention got to be on me. It's me. It can't be a me and her.
Right.
It's me.
I understand. So again, it's about preference. It's
It's
funny. I was on Instagram like the other day or something, and they showed this picture of this guy, and he had like 16 wives, 151 children,
Oh
and
my
I
God.
forgot how many grandchildren or something. And it was saying that he has a regimen where he has sex 4 times a day with his different wives or whatever, right? I seen something else a long time ago where I guess in some cultures, if you can afford it, if you can afford the wives or whatever. I also seen where a woman has several husbands. So
I like that.
again, we go back to preference. Some people prefer to be the only one, the apple of that person's eye. Some people, know how
I
to
mean, if
spread
I
the
could have
wings.
2 husbands, I would.
I don't know. To each his own,
Just 2 husbands.
To
It
each his
can't be the
own.
other way. Can't be the other way.
Each his own. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
That's
Weekends
what you had
off.
at team. Anyway, so now we're gonna go to the cons, which it lists people change. People evolve over time. The personality you fell in love with can very well change and you might not be able to get out of the relationship you were once committed to due to financial dependencies or children.
They go either way too.
Well, I don't believe for me personally, I'm gonna put that out there. I don't believe staying in nothing because of the children. Because at the
Not
end of the
about
day, they see all of that. They feel all of that. And if y'all ain't right, it ain't right. And it ain't no healthy thing for them to be viewing and feel like it's healthy. And then they develop, I got to stay for the kids syndrome.
Oh yeah.
not an old couple that, you growing up, or when I know that I was growing up, I used to see old couples. I used to wonder why they slept in twin beds. And the old folks would be like, well, if he wanted, he'd go get in the bed with me, and that's how I know you want to have sex. No, somebody fucked up, and y'all decided to stay for the kids, and y'all got twin beds. I know quite a few people that, saying that was like that. So our elders, they stayed with it for the kids. I think our generation and beyond, our mindset is more, I'm not going. So we can co-parent. We ain't got, but I ain't staying for the kids either. Fuck them kids.
FDK.
I'm joking.
FDK.
FDK.
But I'm just saying, I'm not going to stay in the situation just for the sake of, family, because then you're really not doing right by family if you stay in the situation because of that. You're actually doing more harm than good. So.
Exactly. Completely and totally. The next one they list is boredom. Monogamy brings with it stability and routine as partners settle into a familiar, comfortable pattern of life. The novelty and desire might get impacted due to this monotony set into bond between partners.
Go ahead, ladies first. I'll wait.
So for me, I think that's bullshit because you can always spice up if you want to spice it up. You can always do something strange for a little piece of change for your man if you want to. So that boredom shit is bullshit. And I think that comes to having conversations with your mate if you're starting to get bored and y'all do what you need to do.
Similar to a sex ship, the quarterly conversation. Here we are again.
I knew you was gonna say
It
that
don't
when I
matter
saw
what
it.
type of relationship you in, y'all got to communicate and figure out what you want to keep the boy in the way. Matter of fact, let me show you something. I've been trying to get my place together. So I've been putting my book repertoire together.
Ah.
Hold on. If y'all see a little crack, just act like y'all don't see it from the back.
Oh Lord.
Fuck it, I'll get up the right way.
The repertoire.
Repertoire. Okay, so this one I done had this book for many, many moons, right? And I'm not gonna show the rest of the books I got, but you can go purchase things like these, and read up, because if you love a person, you gonna want to keep it spicy. You know, you can't. I'm gonna tell you this, right? Which could probably be a whole nother show. Boredom comes from lack of love. I can only speak from a male perspective, and I can't speak for all males. When you love somebody, it really don't matter how you do it. If you really love somebody, because it's kind of deeper than that. But then again, there's other people who might disagree. So with that being said, you can purchase books, you can educate yourself to keep it spicy. So you
They
know it
got
goes both ways.
games and
They
everything.
got a whole bunch of stuff you can do. You know, you ain't even got to buy nothing. You could just do what you don't normally do. Be spontaneous. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you'd be surprised.
Pick
So
each other up at the club and take
yeah,
them home like it's brand new.
right. Beat them up in the car. Go outside somewhere. You know, whatever you're gonna do, but monotony brings boredom if you allow it. So when you fall
Exactly.
into the routines of life, I think we allow the routines of life to take away from the bonds that we've created socially in terms of relationships. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times people be in relationships, they going to work, paying bills, raising kids, and then you forget why you fell in love with the person in the first place, which goes into a whole nother conversation about choices and shit like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll digress.
Completely true. FACK-Goddess, you got anything on that?
I mean, I agree with what y'all said. Like,
And we already know you ain't bored, baby.
what does that mean?
Because you know who you are.
Ah,
Huh.
Fat Goddess. I don't know what else you're talking about.
I bet you don't. The way that you said the ha told it all.
I mean, but I agree with what y'all saying. It's what you make out of it. Like, you have to change stuff up and spice it up if somebody's starting to get bored.
Yeah. So the next one, what was the name of?
I can't stand
What was the name of that book? Ecstasy Through Tantra. Okay.
That's who wrote it.
Dr. John Mumford. All right. Mm-hmm.
This book ain't. It's an old book. I've had it for quite some time.
I see. Uh-oh. You got a comment, sir?
What's up, cool? A couple of excerpts from the book.
Hey. We know all this in there.
All right, dude. What's up, cool? Glad you joined us, my brother.
All right. The next reason it says is hindrance in personal growth. I think this was aimed towards women a little bit. It says settling down could mean giving up the hopes and dreams you had for a future with only you in it. And now you have to accommodate to your partner's future, to which sometimes might not be aligned with your goals and ambitions. And the reason that I said this was aimed at women a little bit is because you hear a lot of women say they got lost in a relationship or they stopped doing stuff because they mate wanted to move somewhere or pursue their stuff and they put their stuff on the back burner or on the back burner for the kids.
I know a lot of brothers who put their stuff on the back burner for women too. So I think it go both ways. Like, cause
Well, I'm just speaking for me. I don't know a whole lot of men that said they did it.
I
But I
know
know a
some.
whole lot of women that's like, I felt like I lost myself in a relationship. It's because you allowed yourself.
I used to cut a lot of hair. I used to work in a barber shop, and I'm telling you, it's a lot of brothers that come in with them stories talking about, man, I gave all this stuff for her, you know what I'm saying, raised my family, you know, and then it's like, man, this shit just like, you know how it be. So I think it go both ways, but as far as growth, again, I have to keep going back to the same thing. When you love somebody, I think a lot of times people don't know what love really is. Hell, I'm still learning what it is.
Woo.
So when you love somebody, things like boredom, hindrance of growth, routine, those things don't cause less than ideal effects on a relationship because y'all both in love, y'all in it to win it. So you constantly monitoring, monitoring your mate becomes instinctual. It's like,
Yes.
man, if I see you slipping, like if a woman see a man slipping and she love him, hey, look, let's do this, or you know, you all right? And vice versa. The man will be like, hey, baby, what's happening? You all right? You know, you give each other what's called pull-ups. My brothers call them pull-ups. You know, when you in love and you love somebody, things become instinctual. You know what I'm saying? So that's debatable, you know.
Understood. I completely understand. Now, this one was a bit interesting, but very true. STDs. So it says, according to a study conducted by the National Center for Biotechnology Information, or NCBI, monogamous people have a greater chance of getting an STI than those in an open relationship. And this is because somebody who is in a monogamous relationship or marriage tend to use protection less. And people in an open relationship have more sexual partners and their protection measures are higher.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that's fact.
I need to know it one more time. I need that noise one more time.
It just kind of happened like that. Like, because I know. So, oh my God, here we go with this shit. So, I know dudes who be just raw. Just raw. I'm going to say this, though. I don't know about that. Unless we're talking about if your woman get a yeast infection or, you know, because you can take medicines that cause bacterial infections, not to get too deep and shit. And brothers be wearing the wrong shit, fuck their roosters up. All that can happen, right? But wow, I can't really.
And sometimes that falls into you're in a monogamous relationship with someone. Y'all have not tested, but y'all are saying y'all with each other, and so one person doesn't know. So y'all say, okay, we're gonna stop using condoms because we with each other.
Popped off.
And only with each other. Now here you go.
I think that happened a lot in our community too. I'm gonna keep it real. That happened a lot in our community, but that's another conversation. But I get
But
what
that's
you're
down
saying.
to knowing your status.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
that
true too.
I think that research sounds about right, because from what I've learned from people that I know of that are in polyamorous relationships, they're very detailed and strict about their rules within their whoever the group is, whether it's 3, 4, 5 people. So it's almost contractual without signing something. So I can see it being more common in a monogamous relationship, because somebody probably I would just say somebody may be more bound to lie about whether or not they're being monogamous. Whereas in the polyamorous relationships, they're very particular about who's in their circle and whether or not they're using protection, and the rules about dating outside of the immediate circle of the people that agree to be in that poly relationship. So I can see why that research has turned out the way that it has, because normally in a monogamous relationship, one or the other lies, or both. Where I think people in poly relationships are more open and honest because they are wanting and desiring to be in that relationship with those multiple people.
I mean, I would agree with you to a certain extent, but in my experience, I've seen people who are in those type of relationships, and they were very reckless with their own personal health and the personal health of others. Whereas I've seen people in relationships do the same thing. But on the other hand, I've seen people in relationships too where like the woman go get the pap smear once a year. You have like two different situations, right? The woman be going to the doctor all the time, so the brother feel like she's straight, I'm straight, right? You have that a lot. Then you have people who go together and get their cells checked out together, or they have a separate appointments or whatever, and they talk about it. So I think whether mono or poly, it's all about what these people who involved, you know, because I know some reckless folk, and I know some people like the F.A.C.K.Goddess said that really do care about what they doing. So again, it's choice. It's how you take care of yourself, if you care, preference once again.
Yeah. All right. So now on to the polygamy pros. It says freedom. Being able to fall in love and not worry about limiting your feelings to one person can be freeing. You don't have to conform to the restrictions of social norms, and you regularly have new experiences from being able to love as many people as your heart desires.
Again, that's preference because my heart only got the capacity to love so many people.
Well, I mean, but you can say it's only going to be you and two other women, right? So then you're loving those two women.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see that.
But for me, all of the new experiences, I can experience that with my dude. Like, it's always something that you've done that they haven't done, or y'all can decide to do something new together. So just because somebody else is there doesn't mean anything. I'm not gonna share this secret.
The idea of having two women is very interesting, but because I can see that, like, if you had two women or if a woman had two men, the idea is interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I was to say multiple experiences, no, I ain't built like that. You know what I mean? But well, I'm not. But like, I guess I can see with two women. Me personally, juggling one be enough for me. So I can't do the R. Kelly and double up. So it's just me. I could just do one at a time, just like threesomes. I think I told y'all. I can't concentrate two women on me at the same time. One at a time with a 3 to 5 minute interval, we good. But if I'm trying to ram her and she trying to lick this and I'm sitting here, I can't concentrate. So I just stick with one at a time. I'm cool.
Understood. F.A.K.Goddess.
Y'all done made me forget what. What was the pro or con? I done forgot that quick.
New experiences.
The pro was freedom of not limiting yourself to the feeling of one person, and you don't have to conform to restrictions of social norms, and you regularly have new experiences from being able to love as many people as your heart desires.
I mean, I would say that is definitely a pro for the type of people that are in a poly relationship, because then there's not a lot.
Ooh, let me get the screenshot.
Well, she's a little stuck.
Look, the face like. You know what that face is. We be in the bathroom.
We gonna wait till she come back in, so we gonna bump her down for just a moment.
I do want to say
her
this.
Moving.
You know, when you was reading the definition and you said freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm beating a dead horse, I'm beating a dead horse. Preference once again, because I know some people meet that one person that they really love and they feel free in that love with that person.
Yes.
My sister, for example, and I ain't gonna be telling all the business. I love, shout out to my sister Angie. Right on, sis. My sister been married for like, I think 16 years, right? And excuse me, I'm gonna get that in a minute. They love each other like they are. Like if I had to figure out what love is, I would probably take notes from them. Mm-hmm. And they are very free in how they love each other, how they express each other. They argue and all type of shit, but they love each other. It's a freedom in that love. That's my stove.
No, it's something going on outside my window too, like some firecrackers.
Oh yeah, they tripping. Like, what the fuck are they doing that for? It's June, damn. But anyway, so I think you can be free and love monogamously as well as being in a poly relationship too. Because I know people who they love 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people. But then so whatever your definition of freedom is.
Yeah. So next is individual maturity. It says polyamory involves meeting people. Do you hear this? This is ridiculous.
I can't hear it.
It's like they lit one of those lines, the lines of firecrackers.
Oh,
Just yeah. It's a mess. But anyway, it involves meeting people who bring along their unique experiences, personalities, ideologies, and the relationship will be shaped by these various differences. And an emotional maturity, respect, and openness has to be developed.
And that's a con or a pro?
That's a pro.
Okay, so then to me, and tell me if I'm missing something.
She's
But to
back.
me,
Hold on, let me add her back. Okay, there she go.
You know I'm driving. So while I was talking, all I know is next it was 3 circles going around. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, somebody screenshot you just so that you know.
Somebody did what?
Screenshot you and it wasn't me.
What was I doing? I already know who it was. I'll handle him later.
Look, you got a whole 3 laughing faces.
I'll handle him and his friend DC7 later.
I was saying that's kind of hypocritical to what they said earlier. Dang, I got to think about it though. But because remember it said one of the cons was that it hinders growth.
So that was for monogamy, though.
Oh, okay, exactly. You're exactly right. Okay.
Yeah.
Ketchup mustard.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Give me the Caucasian face.
Oh gosh.
So, I mean, I don't necessarily know. And Melinda, I don't know if you heard that one, but it says it builds individual maturity. It says polyamory involves meeting people who bring along their unique experiences, personalities, ideologies, and the relationships will be shaped by these various differences. And an emotional maturity, respect, and openness has to be developed. So I don't necessarily completely agree with that, only because you should develop that just in general. And so it doesn't necessarily have to pertain to your relationship as that being a pro. Like, you should develop an openness to be able to discuss things that you may not agree with other people, and know that what their ideologies are, and talk about that on a regular basis. You could just be somebody's, not even necessarily a friend, somebody you met, and be open to that. So
I think we had to remember, I think a lot of people had to remember the difference between relationship and codependency. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, can you repeat? Was that the next pro?
Yes, for polygamy.
Polyamorous or polygamy?
Yes.
Okay. Can you repeat what it is again? I'm sorry.
No problem. Individual maturity. Polyamory involves meeting people who bring along their unique experiences, personalities, ideologies, and the relationships will be shaped by these various differences. And an emotional maturity, respect, and openness has to be developed.
I have witnessed that. I have a friend who's polyamorous, and like for instance, he told me that he was involved in a, I'll say union. I'm not familiar with the terminology of what they call their hooking and pairing up, but he was involved with a married couple, and so the husband would literally call him and be like, "Look, she tripping. You need to come take her out and give her something." So there was something about the way that my friend, I guess, romanced her and exposed her to different things, that she would go through her periods where she just wanted to be in his space. Like, he was known for taking her out to dinner, to different places, because they were in the Miami area. So like, that's why he'd be like, come take out to dinner, give her some, do something with her, because we getting on each other's nerves. You know what I'm saying? He would take her dancing. It sounds like he would do some of the things that the husband didn't do, like socially,
Yeah.
and artistically, and all those other things. So I can see that happening, just kind of based on some of the things that he told me about that he did. And then, like, I feel like that was his niche, like that whole exposing to something different. Because he did that with multiple people.
So for me, that's the only reason that I would be okay with it, because it's like build a dude. This one is gonna do this thing, and that one's gonna do that thing, and that one's gonna do that thing, and then I have one complete person.
That puts a lot of traction on your pooter, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
not necessarily.
But I will say,
because one of them may just be for certain interactions, and it may not be a physical one.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm familiar with that. I get what you said.
Exactly. Build your team. Build your dude.
That's deep. But I mean, guys and women do that though. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that would be ideal for you if it was only men involved in your poly relationship, though.
And that's what I said.
I know you said that's what you want, but I'm saying that's not how it always is. It's usually a mixture. Like, I got somebody and you got somebody. So
so you saying it's usually like 4 people?
Yeah, it's usually like 2 men and 2 women.
Oh, I've only see, like, for me, that represents swingers. Like, I've only seen like 3 people in a.
No.
Swingers are couples that fuck with couples.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, like, that's what that mindset puts me into.
No, the 4 people aren't necessarily couples, though. Like, one of them could be a couple, and then it's another man and another woman that might not even know each other.
And see, the only ones that I've seen have been 3 people. And it's either a male and 2 females.
It's normally not 3 people. That's what I'm telling you. It's normally not 3 people.
I know a guy that's got 2 women. Them 2 women got a boyfriend and a girlfriend.
Yeah. It's the 3.
Sometimes they all do their thing.
That's too much. That's too much.
Too much. The 3 people is like not the norm. That's like the exception. Like, it's only 3. And somebody that's poly, because the base word poly means many, so it's gonna be more than 3.
All over this boy.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, this ain't my stuff, so I don't know.
That's why
I get it. It ain't mine either. I get it.
Yeah,
but it's out here though.
I'm just telling you from knowing somebody that lives the poly life.
Ooh,
yeah, okay. That's why I was saying all the time, like, it's preference, it's choice.
Yes.
You creating the boundaries, creating the rules. What are you going to accept? What are you not going to accept? Like, not to have to be established on both sides.
By that definition, it's most definitely not for me. Anyway, so comfort. Having various partners determines you have additional pillars of compassion and support to hold you through tough times. The various support networks brings a sense of comfort knowing that there are various people you can rely on.
Just like the example I just gave. The husband was like, come get her. But it wasn't I'm mad and want to divorce her and want to leave her. It was just, she's in that moment where she need to be with you. And I need her to be with you because she getting on my nerves. So that's just another example of, what you're saying, what that is a positive for somebody that's living the poly life.
Or it could just be, remember when we was growing up, and even nowadays, and this could be male or female. You just have you a whole bunch of different people in your life that do different things with your beck and call. It can just be called different things. Because I know a lot of women who do that. I know a lot of men who do that. But it ain't necessarily called polygamy or whatever, polygyny or poly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm speaking to the definition that pro that you get.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. I know people who ain't in those relationships. They just got 3, 4, 5 folk. Mother got sugar daddies and all type of shit, sugar mamas.
I just want to sponsor.
Oh.
Can somebody apply to be my sponsor, please?
I don't want no.
Okay, and so lastly, in terms of breeding, now this is a very back in the day portion of a pro.
Nation building.
Polygamy ensured that only the most effective and well adapted genes would last, and the weak were excluded. So, from the perspective of evolution of generations and individuals, it wasn't a bad thing. But the times and roles of sexual contact have evolved, and reproduction is no longer the sole objective in a relationship.
Depending on what you're on. Nation building, you know what I'm saying? Nation building. You might be like my man with the 16 wives and 151 kids. He's clearly nation building.
All the way.
He's solidifying his bloodline, his legacy. He got more shots to have his so that's a choice.
So now to the cons. Resentment. The layers of relationship needs to be met in a polyamorous relationship brings with it a complexity. It can be emotionally draining to meet the emotional and physical needs of multiple partners, leading to conflicts, insecurities, or resentment. I think that's how you define it. So, if that's something that you choose to be in, everybody emotionally has different things that they need. And if you choose to be in that, then you need to know what those emotional needs are for each individual person.
So I gotta have a quarterly.
That's
why that quarterly conversation is again so important.
It need to be with all y'all.
Right. You got a quarterly powwow.
And see, the person that gets in their feelings and goes against the contract, or whether it be verbal or written, that's what makes it a con, because the other people in the circle have to remind that person what was agreed upon. So I guess one of Floyd's little quarterlies would be needed.
You better give yourself a hand clap. She finally agreed. What episode are we on?
Hey,
93?
I ain't about to hand clap because the truth is universal. The truth stay the same. The truth will go through trials and tribulations, but the truth will always win.
And again, just reverting back to the things that have been shared with me from my friend. He's been in situations where women have gotten attached to him and then start trying to put, boundaries up on what he can and can't do with other women. You know what I'm saying? He's like, wait a minute, you forgot what we in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that.
Bring it back.
Just because you in your feelings.
I agree. And on the flip side, it's just like if a guy get with a woman or a woman get with a guy and they in the sex ship, and all of a sudden somebody start having feelings, and now you being reminded this is what it was. If the quarterly conversations are not effective, and you start getting in feelings,
I ain't talking about no sex ship.
I said on the flip side though, the key word was flip side. On the flip side of it, so if that person start having feelings, now we have lost sight of what we was the contract that we was originally on. Things have gone awry, whether it's poly or monogamous or it's a ship. It's the same concept. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Listen, she said she gave you a little bit of leeway. She can't
Yeah.
give you a
No,
whole
but
lot.
it ain't about leeway.
I'm just telling you what she's doing. I'm just letting you know.
Well,
She's
I
like, I
mean, the
gave you
truth is
that
the
right
truth.
there, but I can't go down that road.
The truth is the truth. Whether you want to call it poly or you want to call it pimping, if somebody fall in love and they lost sight of what the original conversation and understanding was about, then they got to be reminded or they need to step on. I don't care what you call poly, pimping, mono, whatever it is, sex ship, bubble ship, whatever it is. If somebody fall in love and they lose sight, you got to redirect them, or as she said, reel them back in, I guess, or abandon ship.
Yeah.
Again,
I didn't literally
The whole face. So next is inconsistency. Having multiple idiosyncrasies to play requires consistent cooperation and understanding, which can be challenging. Inconsistencies in meeting of needs can lead to trust issues and splinters within the relationship. I feel like that's a con for either one. I don't think it's just for poly relationships. I think that can be for monogamy too. Because if you're inconsistent with me, I'm looking at you sideways.
like real sideways.
Real sideways, all the way over here.
So they didn't started letting people not wear their masks
Started. That's been happening.
because of the vaccination.
Yeah, they out
And
here.
so now Speedway ain't putting their gloves out no more. What the hell going on?
And that dang Ray might put some COVID in your big dog. God dang it. That's what that might mean.
I'm talking about it ain't a glove out here.
They got the napkins. Use the napkin, ma'am.
It's okay. I got some of their gloves in my glove compartment.
That's why they ain't put them out, because y'all just stealing them. Y'all taking boxes.
I sure was taking them when it was first going.
Then, so the last one of this one is social disapproval. Polyamory is usually looked down upon in the majority of societies and religions. It can lead to biases, judgment, and isolation, which can be difficult to deal with.
Well, of course, I agree with Floyd on that. It's a matter of no, I don't. I changed my mind. I don't agree with him. I'm sorry. That's just getting out of hand.
Shit funny as hell.
I just will say it depends upon where you live, because it can be looked upon definitely in the United. It can be looked down upon definitely like in the United States, but then you go over to a whole different continent or country,
Mama.
and that's what the norm is. It's nothing wrong with it because that's the norm. I guess depending upon the makeup, because other countries and continents are known for men having many wives, but not necessarily wives having many husbands. But that still can be defined as like a poly, because the men have many wives. Now he might let her get a little chore boy. I don't know. I've never been in that situation. Like maybe she can get the pool man or the butler or the cook. I don't know. If she could, that'd be a wonderful poly for them. But I certainly know that in other countries and continents and on other continents, they don't have a problem with men having many wives. We need to research that, Soul Snatching Goddess, and see if there's an area in this world where women can have many husbands.
In my world, if I chose.
I don't mean, I'm talking about where it's known, not what you personally want.
It probably wouldn't be known like that. It's male dominated society like that. I'm sure they probably ain't letting it be known like that.
That's why I said we need to research it. That was the operative word, research.
No, I know that. I was just offering a comment to the statement.
Oh my God.
Well, at the end of the day, there is no right or wrong way of having a relationship. People change, and even our concept of love. You just have to choose what is good for you, create meaningful relationships that nurture you and allow you to build and take away the daily stress of life, find a source of strength and happiness. We all need someone with whom we can share our truest thoughts and feelings, whether it be with one specific person or a few. So I'm sure you don't have a I love you but tonight, right?
No.
So as y'all can see, F.A.C.K.Goddess is in her vehicle, still coming to y'all, giving y'all content, and she still needs y'all I love y'all butts to be in the email.
I can get one, an untraditional one. I love you, but if you're flying out of the ATL, don't request a wheelchair for no airline because you subject to have to wait for 2 hours.
So go and give it to him. You gotta give it to him. So for the
love of God, take your own wheelchair pusher. Your own escort. If you trying to get either from the plane or to the plane, it don't even matter. It's crazy. I can't wait to complain. And then I'm going to give y'all a follow-up on these free flights I'm going to get.
All hearts and minds clear?
I think Floyd has something else to say.
I'm groovy in the motherfucker. Y'all go get out.
So that concludes our show for the evening. Thank you all for joining us as we do our best to give you the content you deserve. Feel free to keep the conversation going below in the comments. We do look forward to reading them and we respond. Again, thank you for watching. If you have not, make sure to thumbs up the video, share, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend, subscribe and click the notification bell or bang that notification bell. And see you next week on GoddeSShips because every ship matters. You!
Me?
He do this every week.
I forgot.
Do you need your line? Just say line.
I need my
Just say line. All ships ain't the same.
You know what I was
so we're
thinking
going to start that over.
Yeah.
All right. See you next week on GoddeSShips because every ship matters.
All ships aren't the same.
And life is lived on ships.
Oh, I said the last one.
Good night.
Power to the people, y'all. Stay black.